Hello, it's Tom with Digital Foundry. So this is one for the books. Forza 6 Apex is a free-to-play beta on Windows 10, a cut-down version of the Xbox One release from last year. You get 63 cars, 5 main locations and 20 circuits, and the only requirement here is that you have Windows 10 and the PC hardware to run it. The GTX 970 and R9 390 are of course easy graphics cards to kick off with in our testing, and actually, to be honest, we've struggled to get either car to drop below 60 FPS at a standard 1080p with all settings at maximum. To really stress either GPU then, we're pushing the boat out to 1440p with 8x MSAA and every setting at its peak quality level. And even on this Rio de Janeiro track, we're only seeing 1 or 2 blips here and there, a very impressive showing from both cards. Now the caveat is this game does use the same universal Windows platform as Gears of War Ultimate and Quantum Break and many others, and unfortunately it means we're forced to run with a refresh cap at 60 FPS, which means you see very little difference on this Rio stage by day. But when we switch to the rainy Sebring Club circuit, pushing more memory sapping alpha transparencies for its splashes, you start to see a clear divide. AMD's R9 390 is the clear winner here, at times by a margin of up to 10 frames per second. Now, though the sync up isn't exact, the overall performance lead is very consistent. As an average across all tests in this video, the GTX 970 runs at 53.3 frames per second, while the R9 390 hits a higher average of 56.2 frames per second. Nvidia's card also puts in the lowest reading at 35 FPS, while AMD's card bottoms out at 41. We are looking at the game running at some extreme settings though. 8x MSAA is a frankly excessive level of anti-aliasing for a 1440p image, and it's amazing how far these cars have to be pushed to buckle like this. It's a relief to know that dry tracks still run well though, and it's only when you switch on the rain weather effects that you hit any limit. At 1080p meanwhile, you're not going to have many problems with either card, and if you do experience trouble getting to 60 FPS, dropping MSAA down a level to 4x smooths the frame rate out again. There's one drawback though. One issue we have encountered with the game at these peak settings is stuttering. We've yet to isolate the exact cause of this issue, but the game renderer can at times jump forward a few frames, a distracting visible hitch in playback. Having several races in a row can trigger it in our system, and especially when viewing replays as well. Restarting the game outright generally solves the issue, but oddly enough it's AMD's card that suffers the most from these hiccups in performance. Even though it runs at the higher overall frame rate, it appears to have trouble streaming in new scenery on complex tracks like Rio. In this nighttime race on Brands Hatch for example, the R9 390 has a few troubles staying completely stutter free, but otherwise matches the 60 FPS we see on the GTX 970. Still, Forza 6 Apex is marked as a beta, and we'd hope to see this one addressed by launch. The game looks great maxed out like this though, a worthwhile conversion of the Xbox One release, and one of the best big budget games to use the universal Windows platform so far. That's a wrap for performance testing though. We'll be back with more benchmarks and a comparison of the Xbox One game in the coming days, so like and subscribe if you want to see more Forza 6 coverage. So until next time, thanks for watching.